y amigos, sepa que nuestros videos siempre tiene subtítulos en español.
Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to our channel, Why Not Now? My name is Steven and this is my lovely wife, Lisa Marie. What are we doing today, baby?
Today we are making enchiladas suizos. Thank you. Muchas gracias for the recommendation that we received from one of our viewers. His name is Marco Antonio. We were talking about something that we could make, and he gave this great idea. He said, why don't you just make enchiladas suizos con pollo, with chicken? So I said, you know what? This sounds like a perfect dish. No, we've never had it before, number one, and we definitely never tried to make it. So what more of a perfect dish to make than this one here? So we have all of our ingredients here. So, esta es la primera vez hacemos y probamos enchiladas suizos. So here we showed you some of our ingredients. So we have our tomate verde or tomatillos, some onions, some cebolla. We have some, a couple of dientes, a couple of garlic cloves, which I have to peel. And we have some poblanos, two poblanos. We have 2 of the Anaheim peppers. And let me say something about that. Other recipes call for serrano peppers, but because I don't take a lot of heat, so I thought let's start with Anaheim and see how it goes, and then after we can try it again, maybe with a little bit of serrano pepper. But you can use pretty much any pepper you want. If you want to use, 2, 3, 4 or more serranos, and you don't have to use Anaheim. It's just what I'm using because it's not hot. I have a lime here, un limon, but this is not part of a dish. I just love lime and everything, so I'm gonna squeeze lime on it. Yep. We have a good handful of cilantro. Tip for you all: when you're cleaning cilantro, the best way to get the sand out of it is to put it in some water and let it soak there for maybe like 15-20 minutes. You'll see all of the sand drain to the bottom, and then you can go ahead and pat dry with a paper towel your cilantro. So rinsing it off under the water isn't the best way. You don't really get all the sand off, so just tip there. Yep. We also have some queso. So we have manchego queso, which we're using what we have in the refrigerator. Yeah. We didn't have the shredded manchego, so we're gonna go ahead and chop that up. We also have some queso de Oaxaca, so quesillo, as they say in Oaxaca. As you all know, we were living in Oaxaca for a short time before. Yeah. We are now living in the beautiful Aguascalientes, and we love it here.
Yeah, we do.
We have some crema de aceite, I believe, so sour cream. Yeah. We're only going to use about 1 cup of this, so it's going to be actually less than half this container. And the Oaxaca, we're going to shred it up. You can use only manchego, you can use Oaxaca, you can use Oaxaca and cream cheese, all 3, manchego, cream cheese, and Oaxaca, whatever you want. You can mix it up and get creative. We have some tortillas.
Yeah, and don't get on us about this. I know you're gonna say go get the other ones down the street, because I know there's a lot of places
the fresh
over
ones,
here that make the fresh ones.
And we do get the fresh ones sometimes, but these, if we're not gonna eat a lot, they last longer. So we have these on hand now. We also have some canola oil.
Yeah, we're gonna fry it. Well, we'll show you.
And then we have some sea salt on hand. Yeah.
And my wife, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. I was gonna say the only thing that you're not seeing here is we're gonna put a pinch of sugar, of azúcar in after we blend everything up to combat the acidity.
Yeah, and you mentioned that we boiled the chicken.
That's previously. Right. I didn't mention that. Thank you for reminding me.
Yeah.
So yes.
I boiled the chicken recently.
He's not.
We boiled the chicken
yesterday.
And we shredded it up. So, because we can stuff it inside, put it inside the tortilla.
And a lot of people who do the chicken, I just see them boil the chicken like a chicken breast. But when I did it, I like to put a little bit of spices. So I put like some garlic, some onion, a little bit of oregano, a little bit of salt. And that's how I boiled my chicken for about maybe 45 minutes yesterday. And then my husband shredded it up, so it's ready to go into the enchiladas.
Yep. And also on these right here, tomatillos, tomate verde. Make sure you go check out the video when we are going to Mercado Terán. It was this young lady in there. She was giving us a lot of help because my wife, at first, she was going around asking people like, tú tienes tomatillo, and people look like, what? And then she's like, okay, tomate verde, and people like, solo tomate rojo, stuff like that. But then we had gone to the other booth, and the lady was telling us that they call it different in different states. So how do they call it? You know, where you guys are from? Are you guys from Acapulco? You guys from Oaxaca? You from Mazatlan? Anywhere? Like, how do they call it around your neck of the woods? You know. So that was an experience. So make sure you check that out. And also the Anaheim pepper. My wife briefly was explaining that a little bit. She was telling us about this because my wife, she's a weakling. She doesn't like a lot of heat. I'm from the South, you know. We love the hot sauce. We love hot peppers and stuff like that. And I feel like, come on, man. But yeah,
the mild pepper.
Yeah, she decided to get the mild pepper, so we're gonna take care of that. But yeah, that was quite an adventure at Mercado Terán. So make sure you go check out that video. And also check out the video when we were with Senor Javier.
Oh,
he was serenading my wife. But he was actually
and that
cool.
video, we'll put it in the comment section below. It's called, the thumbnail is called Angel in Disguise. Yeah. He really was, in my opinion, an angel in disguise. Yeah. And actually, you're not going to get to see it on camera. Obviously, we can't show you everything. But when we make this, we're going to go ahead and we're going to go walk over and surprise Senor Javier, Francisco Javier, and we're going to bring him. I want to ask his opinion on how our first, try at making this enchiladas suizos came out. I'm going to bring him a plate. So hopefully we can find him later on today and bring him something to eat.
Yep. So I guess, I don't know, you ready to get started? The master chopper. I'm the master chopper. Get to chopping things up.
That's right. You know what I was going to say? When my husband was talking about the tomate verde, in Querétaro, we lived in Querétaro for a year, okay? And when I would go buy these, I would say tomatillos, I would say tomate verde, and everybody knew what I was talking about. I never had a problem, which was really strange when I went to Mercado Terán, that I tried two different people, and they looked at me like, I don't know what you're talking about. So that, like my husband said, please comment below and let us know in the state you are in Mexico, in Mexico, where are you and how do they call these? Because I was shocked to find out that Miss Isabel, the lady at the fruteria, she said, it depends on, every state has a different way of referring to it. Everything is called something different. So that was the first time I knew. And I asked her, I said, where are you from? She said, well, I'm here from Aguascalientes. I said, well, what do you call them? And then she gave me an explanation. So check out that video because not only did she talk about the, how they call it, but she also explained the difference between the small tomatillo and the larger one. So she gave a lot of great tips, and she even talked about lime. So I really, really love that, how I'm learning more and more about Mexican cuisine here. It really is so interesting how many different peppers and flavors and, just so many different factors that can affect when you cook, Mexican dishes. I love it.
Yeah, and also tell us what other ingredients you have that would be your own twist to give it that flavor. You know, so we'll comment below. We're ready to hear you speak about that.
Yeah, and new dishes. What new dishes do you recommend that we try to make? So help us out with that. Give us some recommendations. And if you have tips on, the sabors, the different flavors of when it comes to peppers or the style of cooking, give us tips about that as well. We appreciate that to our friends or amigos aquí in Mexico.
Yep.
Okay, so we're going to begin with first, and I hope we have enough tomate verde. I hope we have enough because my husband kept saying, I think we're short a little bit. But I said, well, the recipe said only media kilo, so half a kilo. So I hope we have enough. We're going to start by boiling the tomatillos, poblanos, and the Anaheim. We're going to boil it only for a few minutes, just when the color just changes. You don't want to overboil it. And then we're going to go ahead and blend that up with the crudo, the raw onion, and the ajo, the garlic. And once we boil it up, and also with the cilantro, we're going to blend all of that up in the licuadora in the blender. So let's go ahead and get to that. All right, so we have all our ingredients in our blender, in our licuadora. We're gonna add a pinch of salt for the acidity, just a pinch. And a spoonful of sal, of salt. You can always taste it after you blend it up to see if you want more salt. You can always use less salt and add it however you want to do it. And for those of you who know, I don't have a high power blender like we talked about in our last videos where we were cooking and we did some other meals. So we have to improvise and make it work. Once we blend this up, we're gonna go on to making the tortillas. So stay tuned, guys. So now we're adding, after you've blended all your ingredients, that's when you add in your sour cream, about a cup, like I mentioned. And you don't want to blend this a long time. It's just as soon as you finish, you get it incorporated, that's all you need. You don't need to blend it constantly. So about a cup, and it's really on your preference. Some people like more or less. All right, let's see how that goes. That's my guesstimate. I'm gonna go ahead and blend this up really quickly. Again, not for a long time. That's it, and then you can mix it, hand mix it. Taste it if you want more salt, add it. Now we're going on to make tortillas. So making tortillas now, and you wanna heat it up on both sides, but you don't want it to get hard. The point is not to get them crispy, it's just to get some heat on both sides. It still has to be a little bit pliable so you can roll them to make the enchiladas.
As my lovely wife's in the background making the tortillas, you see this cheese right here, queso Oaxaca and manchego cheese. Yeah, I said it right. So you need about 2 cups, but you use as much as you want. You know, we may even use more cheese. We have some Oaxaca cheese left over, and we have some manchego cheese left over. And then this chicken right here, chicken breast. About a half a kilo of chicken breast, a little over half a kilo of chicken breast right there on it. And we mentioned before that this was boiled the previous night, so that's way it will be ready for us to go ahead and roll it up in the tortillas when they're done.
So first, we're gonna this salsa. I tasted it already. It is so good. I kid you not. I really like it. So you can get see the consistency of it. It is really, really good. Now I'm gonna put some here just on one side while I start doing my rolling of my enchiladas. Okay, so just put a little bit here for now. I don't know how many enchiladas it's gonna make. I started out with like 7 tortillas. Maybe I have to heat up a few more. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so we take some chicken, and it depends, I guess, on how big you want them. I saw one lady, a different lady was making them, and she said the restaurant roll is, you know, when you completely roll it, but there's also something called fondue when they just fold it in half like this. It's like a fondue style, or you can do the roll like a restaurant roll, which she was doing. And she said you kind of just take the enchilada and you just roll it like this. So I'm gonna try maybe both. So this is like a restaurant roll, and then we're gonna go ahead and put it here. And I see that you have to really work quick, because then if you heat them too much, you know, you wanna make sure they don't start cracking and stuff like that. So let's put some, I'm gonna do another one. Okay, and now I'm gonna do again the roll. See if this one comes out better. If it gets easier as I continue to practice. Okay, yeah, this is better, I think. Here, and we will continue making these. So I'm gonna have my husband do some more rolling here as I heat up some more tortillas, because I can see I need some more for sure. And if you guys are wondering why I'm using this really, really big pan, there's a reason behind it. So I don't know, I bought something here in Mexico, in a supermarket. It was a glass dish, and I've always used glass dishes in the past, and it did say it was like, you know, freezer safe and oven safe. Don't tell me why it happened, but that glass dish exploded in the oven. It like literally was in there for like maybe, I was trying to heat up some vegetables in there, like do some kind of a roasted vegetables, and within 5 minutes of it being in there, the whole dish exploded in the oven. So because of that, now I'm kind of fearful to try to put another dish in there, even though if it says oven safe. So I have this one, this aluminum one. So while my husband's rolling them up, I'm gonna go ahead and make some more tortillas.
But yeah, as you guys are new to our channel, I always have to just put it out there. It's like promoting over and over again. We have been living over here in Mexico for almost 2 years, you know, más o menos. We started out in Querétaro, Mexico. We were over there for some time. It's a beautiful city. We had a good time in Querétaro, Mexico. And then we decided to leave Querétaro, Mexico in like 1 year. And we had gone down to Oaxaca. Oaxaca was beautiful with the mountains, and you know, they had, you know, the moles and stuff like that. We were trying the food and tlayudas, and what's the name of the drink they had?
Tejate.
Tejate, something like that. Yeah, they had that drink. Make sure you check out those videos.
And
around showing also chapulines. Yeah, chapulines.
You should see that short. You did a short of you trying them.
Of me trying the chapulines, yeah. Chapulines, you know, they're not really not that bad. They're okay. It's not I'm not gonna be like, okay, I want to just go to the store or go to the restaurant and grab chapulines. No, but
okay, tell the story.
But I can do it.
Tell the story of when I grabbed them. Well, you said it off camera.
When you done what?
In the mercado. Tell the story of when that short we did, and when I grabbed them, and how many I put in my mouth, and then off camera.
We were down in Oaxaca. And let me go back. In Querétaro, Mexico, we first moved down there. One of our first or maybe second video when we were first going down there, we had went to a restaurant called San Miguelito or something like that, right?
Oh yeah.
In Central.
What was it? Do you remember the street?
I don't remember. Cinco de Mayo. I think it's Cinco de Mayo when you're going down in Querétaro in the center. So my wife wanted some guacamole. And the guy like, oh, I recommend getting the Oaxacan style guacamole. So she's like, okay, cool, let me get a Oaxacan cuisine. I heard it's the greatest thing, it's good, so let me get the cuisine, Oaxaca guacamole. So, it would have been a long time.
But you warned me. You said, baby, shouldn't you find out what's in it before you eat it?
I said, you need to do some research first. What is the Oaxaca cuisine? And like, make sure what's in it first, like read it, because we really weren't so fluent in Spanish, and that's one thing we always push for: learn Spanish, learn how to read, learn how to write. Don't try to learn the basics at least. So we couldn't really understand everything, but guacamole, we saw the certain ingredients. So it was a long day, you know. We had just pretty much got down to Querétaro, and we went home. We made to our Airbnb. We were staying over in Central Sur at the time. So we in there late at night, and we didn't have the lights were kind of off. We had it kind of dim. So my wife just going to work, eating the chapulines, eating the guacamole. What else did we get? Some type of
pozole.
Pozole. Yeah, we had the guacamole. We had the pozole, and so we sitting down at the table just eating it. And my wife had the chip, and she was tasting something different, but she didn't know what it was.
And I told you, oh, so good, try it.
Yeah, she was telling me to try it. So I had tried like maybe 1 or 2 bites, got 1 or 2 bites, and she like, that's enough now, I'm not going to eat all my guacamole. I'm like, all right, cool. So I started eating what I had. I think I may have had a burrito or something. I don't know. We got some food from San Miguelito. And so the lights eventually came on, and she said, what is that? And she just screamed. And I'm like, what are you screaming about? And she looked down, she said, look, what is that? Oh my gosh, I can't do it. And you just saw the chapulines inside the guacamole, the legs and everything. And she ate pretty much over half of it anyway. So I'm like, it's too late for it now. and then I was saying that story to give the build up to it. So she was freaked out by chapulines then. She didn't know what to do. But then we had gone down. We actually tried them in Hidalgo.
And this was over a year later after the fact. I thought I was tough then.
Yeah, and then where did we go? Pueblo. We had gone to Pueblo City, and then we had stopped through Hidalgo, and we tried chapulines stopped at a little stop, and the guy told us to get chapulines and try. So fast forward to Oaxaca. We were down in Oaxaca. My wife wanted to get the chapelines, try them on camera for you. We promised you that we're going to try them on camera. So the guy said, oh, you want to try them? She said, yeah, limon and sal. Like, I'll try that one. Kid you not, man. She got had at least 7 or 8. You didn't see. How many?
Sorry, that smoke is about there almost done.
It was like 7 or 8 of them. You guys didn't really see them. And I'm looking at her like, why in the hell are you eating that many? And she got them and she like, chewed them. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's a lot of chapelines. And for me though, I had tried it and I had like maybe 2 or 3, but she had like 7 or 8. Like she put them all in her mouth. And I'm like, oh, hell no. So we going around and I'm like, man, I need
to. And then, you know he couldn't if I did it, he can't just, be like, oh no, I can't do it. So now he's got to back it up, right?
Yeah, I couldn't punk out. But the chapelines aren't really that bad. They're actually a nice little treat, nice little snack if that's something you want to do. They make it all type of ways with the chili, the garlic, the plain roasted. Like they do it all type of ways, and that wasn't too bad. But yeah, so we were down in Oaxaca for some time, and just due to some other things, Oaxaca just didn't work for us, and we decided to go check out Mazatlan, Sinaloa.
But you didn't try the ostiones.
No, and they were in Mazatlan, Sinaloa. They always going around on the beach, and that's one thing I loved about Mazatlan. They had oysters going around right on the beach, just walking around with it like that, and they'll crack it open right there in front of you and squeeze the lime and put the salt on it for you and give you the hot sauce and everything. But I didn't try that because I'm not a big fan of oysters. I don't want to find out. And it looks like they have oysters down there. They're cracking the oysters and everything, Anna. Hola.
Ostiones.
No, está bien.
He wants you to try the oysters.
Yeah.
Oysters, huh?
He's trying to get me to try the oysters. I don't want to try oysters. I don't like oysters. I'm like, no.
Guys, let the man make it. He makes some big enchiladas.
I don't really like ostiones.
But yeah, that's pretty much it, I guess. I mean, for hours, we have a lot of story time. Go check out our video library. Tons of story time. But we are going to continue rolling up these babies. All right, so now we're going to pour this beautiful salsa verde over our enchiladas suizos. I guess if I had more salsa, I would save some more at the very end to plate it, but I might not have that much. So maybe I'll have a little bit actually. Well, this smells, guys. I wish you could smell this. It smells so good, so fresh. I see why people love Mexican cuisine, Mexican food. There's so many different types. I mean, you can go to Yucatan and there's different ways of making things. You can go to Central Mexico and there's so many different ways. People think of Mexican cuisine as one way. There's no one way to describe Mexican cuisine. It comes in so many different varieties and fashions, and everybody from different parts of the country put their own twist on it, which is incredibly beautiful and amazing. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to top it with some beautiful cheese. All right, let's get it going. So manchego I have here. I'm gonna sprinkle that all over. And I never even heard of this dish. I mean, I've always eaten enchiladas, but I've never heard of enchilada suizo. So to me, I can tell this is going to be really delicious, and I know for a fact, even before trying it, just tasting the salsa off of a spoon, I can tell you right now, this is going to be a go-to, one of my favorite dishes that I will be making on a regular basis. What did you think about the salsa, babe, when you tried it?
Oh, it was very flavorful.
Yeah, it was delicious.
Mucho sabor.
Mucho sabor.
Mucho sabor.
Riquísimo.
Uy.
Okay. I'm going to put some of the Oaxaca, queso Oaxaca, quesillo, as they say in Oaxaca. Check it out. You don't need mozzarella cheese. That's one thing I learned growing up in an Italian-American family. I always tell you guys about this. my father, you know, he was an Italian immigrant, and I realized that I thought, oh no, we can find mozzarella cheese, but not the fresh one, or not as often as back, you know, when I would buy it in the U.S. But you know what? Oaxaca, honestly, to me, I like it better than mozzarella cheese now. It is so good. It's that stringy cheese. It just really does the job for what you need. It just works perfectly, honestly. Really good. All right, I'm gonna finish this off. We're gonna put it in the oven at about 350 to 400, depending on your oven degrees. And it'll probably be in there for like maybe 20 minutes. Keep checking it. When it gets a little bit of the little brown spots on top, or if you like it less cooked, you just pull it out, because honestly, everything in here is already cooked. It's just more that, you know, have that nice golden cheesy look at the top. So we'll show you the end result and then we'll try it. Okay, so I'm gonna plate my husband's his first taste of enchiladas suizos. If I can get it on the spatula, that would be amazing. Let's get it on up here. There we go. You can see it's pretty cheesy.
Yeah, it's looking good.
Okay, and I'm gonna. The only thing I would say, like my husband mentioned earlier, I would get a little more of the tomate verde and do a little more green salsa. That's the only thing I would do different for next time. But I'm gonna have my husband try it in a minute, and I'll try it with him. I'm gonna plate mine and we'll be right back. Okay, so it's time to try it. All right, I'm gonna bring it up close, see if I can break it up in front of you all.
Yeah, it smells delicious.
It does. It really fills the house with such a beautiful, delicious aroma. So you can see inside we have that shredded chicken, you have that beautiful green salsa, you have that combination of manchego and Oaxaca cheese. Again, the only thing I would do different is add more tomatillos, more green tomate verde for more of a sauciness.
To the left a little bit. Okay.
Let's see here. You can see my husband trying to guide me so I can get a good angle. Let him do it too. Wow. Honestly, no lie, no joke. En serio. It really, 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 really is delicious. So good. And what I like about it is that you can, you can tweak it. So if maybe you have acid or something, you can't eat very spicy things, you can use a different pepper, or you can use less pepper or more pepper to make it hot if you like it hot. You can really honestly good. This is gonna be a dish that I make on a regular. I'm so thankful. Thank you so much to Marco Antonio for recommending this. Muchas gracias, Marco Antonio.
You sure you're not Mark Anthony? Mark Anthony? No. But yeah, thank you. Like it is very delicious.
You taste like the cilantro, the peppers, like it just, I can't even describe the flavors. It's so good. Yeah. And then you have the cheese, which is mild. So the salsa really is the main, focal point of the dish, which is the natural flavors. You don't have to add all this extra stuff, just the natural flavors and sabor of the peppers.
We forgot to add cream. Salt,
crema de aceite on top. Well, you can always add sour cream on top if you want to, but it's in the sauce as well. But if you like it.
Yeah, it's real good. Real good.
So, before we end it, make sure that you check out our upcoming videos of La Feria Nacional de San Marcos, the Feria, the San Marcos Fair. We live here at Aguascalientes. We will be right in the heart of it all, filming for you and trying to get different aspects of the fair. It's our first fair, so we get to see it with new eyes. So we're excited to share that, not only with everyone from the United States and Canada and in Europe and in Asia and all over the world, in Africa, but even with our Mexicanos here, our Mexican friends here who have been to the fair before. They told us, hey, we want to see your point of view. We want to see from your perspective, how do you see the fair? So we're going to share that with everyone. We're so grateful. Anything else you want to add, husband?
No.
He wants to eat now. He said, I'm ready to get off camera.
Ready to eat. It's been a long day.
You guys don't know how much work goes into the filming. Any kind of filming. We make it look smooth, right? He does all the editing. He always works hard. It takes him days to edit one video. You guys may see us somewhere and think we were just there 30 minutes ago, but what you don't understand is that there's a lot that goes on in the background to get those videos ready to release. And my husband does a lot of that amazing work. Okay, so all these different angles and showing you the cooking. You don't see on the back end, all the hard work. We just show it to you, present it to you. So we hope you appreciate it.
Yeah, and as you guys may have seen, our homemade stand has some
toilet paper
on top of the thing.
Package of toilet paper.
Yeah, no tripod, but we have a tripod, but not the big tall tripod. But anyway, that's some other stuff. But yeah, this dish is very delicious. Thank you once again for it. And as
recommendation,
yeah, and like I was mentioning earlier, tell us your twist that you put on your enchilada suizo verde. Yeah. Tell us what do they call it, tomatillo or tomate verde in wherever your state you reside in. I don't know if that's a Central Mexico thing or Southern Mexico thing. Yucatan, like just let us know what they call it. Yep.
And recommend any other dishes that you think that we should try, so you know that we are not a cooking channel, right? We are about living in Mexico day-to-day life, and we show you all different aspects. On our channel, we're all about truthful content. We are about the good, the bad, the ugly, the in-between. We like to have discussions. We like to bridge the gap, unite all different people from different cultures and countries. We like to have discussions. Check out our other videos. We have a lot of different discussions that we've had, and we've asked our viewers for their opinion, and read the comments. A lot of people have some great information, great opinions, great perspectives, and it helps us to understand each other, whether we're from Mexico or whether we're from the United States or from Canada or from Mongolia, Cambodia, India, wherever we are, talking and understanding each other. It really helps. So that's what we hope to do, is bridge gaps and unite people here on this channel. Yep. So we'll end it as we always do. Yep. Live the life that you were meant to live. Keep a grateful heart.
And remember, why not now? All right, guys. Peace.